So there's some straightforward algebraic problems from section 1.3. We have 9 to the 2x, and we just want to write this as base into base 3. So that's pretty easy. We know that 9 is the same thing as 3 squared. So we can just write 3 squared instead of 9, and then to the 2x. And then we know by the property of exponents, we just multiply when we're raising the powers. So 2x times 2 is 4x, so that's just 3 to the 4x, and now you've got it in base 3. That's all you had to do. And number 7, we want to put this in base 2. And we have 1 over 8, so this is in base 1/8. I want to think about it. We want to get it into base 2. So we can say that this is the same thing as 1 over 2 cubed. I should probably put that in red. 1 over 2 cubed, because 2 cubed is 8. And that's going to be to the 2x. Now, I could raise both these to the 2x powers, or I could just put this up on the top. Remember, if we put it from the denominator to the numerator, we just change the sign. So that's going to be the same thing as 2 to the minus 3. Yeah, there we go again. 2 to the minus 3 over 1, which is just that, to the 2x. And then again, now we're ready to multiply because we've got it in base 2. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, so that's going to be 2 to the negative 6x, and now we got it in base 2. Okay, so those are nice. Okay, number 9. They want you to use a graph to find the 0 of the function, so f of x here equals 2 to the x minus 5. So, talked about this in class, so let's take a look at this one. So we're just going to graph this, and we want to find the 0. And we have to use second calculate on our graph. So let's, first of all, put this in. I should raise this up a little bit too so you can get a little more of the calculator here. Okay. So put it on, get over here and clear this. And then we want 2 to the x, so we'll write 2. And then just caret x, that's going to raise that to the x power. And then negative 5. And that should give me the function. And we can graph this. So we can go to zoom 4 and see what we get. So there we have it. And then we want to find the 0, so we want to see where the value of this function is 0. So we go to second, calculate. Second calc. And right over there, the second function is 0, so you can just either go down and highlight that, or you can just hit 2 either way. And that's going to give me the 0. Now, we want to find the left bound, so we'll use this little cursor over here, with the little arrow. And you can see your values of x over here, so the x is negative 0.3, negative 0.4, negative 0.5, there's 0.1. And now you can see the value, the position on the curve as x gets closer and closer to 2. And now it's at 2.1, and it's getting closer and closer to the 0. The 0 is right here when x is 0. Or sorry, when y is 0. That's the value of the function is 0. So that would be the vertical position, excuse me. And this is the left bound. So we want to get kind of close to that. And then once it says left bound, then we just press enter. So that's going to be down here, enter. And then it's going to ask you for the right bound. So I'm going to arrow up a little bit more so I get to the right bound, and I'll press enter again. It's down here, so you can't see it, but it's the little enter button down there. So I'm going to press enter again. Okay. And then they ask if you want to guess, and nobody ever guesses. So press enter again, and that's going to give you the 0. So that's going to tell you right there, the y is 0. That means the value of the function is 0 when x is 2.3219. So we can approximate that. So x is approximately, oops, out of room there. And then you just transfer this over from your calculator. So y equals 0, that's the 0 of the function, or f of x equals 0. When x is approximately 2.32, and then there's a 9 there in front of the 1, so we would say, if we round it off to 3 places, which is what you usually do on the AP exam, 2.322, because we have 1, 9, so we'll round up. Okay? So 2.322. So that's pretty easy. And then number 11, it's another one. They want you to find the 0. So I guess we can do this. We're kind of on a roll here. I think we can. These are pretty easy graphing problems. Number 11, f of x equals, and this is going to be 3 to the x minus 3 to the x minus 0.5 or 0.5. So we want to know when f of x equals 0. Same thing as y when x equals, or approximately, we'll probably have to round it off. Okay, so we're looking for this, okay? So let's graph this. So I'll go back up and clear that, and this is going to be 3 to the x, 3 caret x, minus, and then 0.5. And then we can just graph that and zoom, hopefully zoom before it work. And there we go. And we're over here in this negative range, and then we'll go second and calculate. It's right above the trace. And then again, we're looking for the 0, so we can just hit 2 if you want. And that'll give you the 0. And we're looking for the left bound. So we're already to the right, so we're going to go over to the left of the 0. So I'm moving the arrow here to get that little point on the curve to the left of the 0. And that's pretty good right there, so I'll press enter. And then I'll move it to the right of the 0, to the right of that point right there, so it's just to the right of that point, the 0 there. And I press enter, don't want to guess, enter again. And I get negative, so x is approximately negative 0.63, and I look at the 0, and what's to the right of the 0, 9, is that 5 or bigger? Yes, it is, so I'm going to add 1 to the 0 and make that 1. So that's the 0, approximately 0.631. Okay. And that's when the function is 0. Okay, so if that makes sense.